The first week after I lost my job, I still woke up at the same time every morning. I opened my computer out of habit, then realized there were no emails to answer, no meetings to attend, no agenda for the day. I just sat there staring at the screen. That's when the fear started whispering to me. What should you do when it starts whispering to you? You should lean into God's truth about money. Hi, I'm Sabrina with Faith Fueled Survival. God never intended you to choose between trusting Him and being financially responsible. In this video, I'll talk about faith and financial wisdom working together, especially in the days and weeks after a job loss. If you are just beginning this journey, be sure to check out my first two videos in this series. You'll find them linked in the description. If you're walking through a loss of income right now, you are not failing. You are transitioning, and there is a way to walk through this with clarity and peace. Today, I want to share 4 truths that help anchor me and that I pray will help anchor you too. Truth number 1, God cares about how you manage money. Jesus talked about money often, not because it's evil, but because it reveals trust. There are more than 2,000 scriptures that speak about money and possessions. God has a lot to say about finances. So while you're gearing up for a job search, don't forget that how you manage what you do have still matters. Scripture calls this stewardship. After job loss, I assume faith meant saying, God will work it out, while continuing to spend the same way I always had. Subscriptions, special treats, little comforts that just basically justified a stressful situation, or so I thought. I was fortunate to have savings during this time, but when I looked at my bank account, I realized I had already been spending too much. In Matthew 25:14 through 30, Jesus tells the parable of the talents. Resources are entrusted to servants. The faithful servants steward what they've been given wisely and are rewarded. The one who buries his talent out of fear is held accountable. This parable isn't just about money, it's about responsibility. God expects us to wisely manage what He entrusts to us, whether it's a little or a lot. Ask yourself, what has God entrusted to me right now? Not before, not after, but today. Truth number 2, faith is not passivity. Waiting on God does not mean ignoring budgets, savings, or planning. God has His part in your restoration, and you have yours. Proverbs 21:5 reminds us that the plans of the diligent lead to abundance. I remember another season without work where I prayed for provision, but didn't actually plan my day. By noon, I was scrolling, discouraged, and stressed. Faith felt heavy because it wasn't partnered with discipline. Everything began to change when I created a simple daily structure. Getting up and getting dressed, job searching from 9 to 11, skill building or applications in the afternoon, rest, fun, and reset in the evening. If you're doing temporary work right now, carve out intentional time each day to focus on your job search and financial goals. Waiting on God doesn't necessarily mean waiting from the couch. Truth number 3, provision is often practical. Sometimes God provides through strategy, not miracles. Just because you can't see what's happening doesn't mean things aren't moving in your favor. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8 says, "And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." For me, provision didn't come as a check in the mail, although that would have been nice. It came as a conversation. A casual meeting turned into a referral. A simple, "How's your job search going?" turned into a job lead. Sometimes provision looks like temporary work, not because it's your dream job, but because it keeps the lights on. That's not failure, that's provision in a tough time. God often answers prayers through people, timing, and practical next steps, not a booming voice from the sky. Truth number 4: peace is a financial goal. If your money decisions cost you peace, it's time to reevaluate your priorities. What do I mean? Well, if there isn't enough income to cover essentials, that may mean temporary or supplemental work. But even when the ends don't meet, don't panic. Go back to the truth of Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. After job loss, it's tempting to spend for comfort. Takeout, small treats, distractions. Well, I've done it. But every purchase bought 5 minutes of relief and days of anxiety, further dwindling the money that I had. Peace came when I chose planning over panic. I resisted the urge to believe that I couldn't have fun or get resources for my job search. For example, when I needed entertainment, I looked for free gatherings. Instead of paying for expensive training or gimmicks, I got free, reliable resources from the library. Ask yourself before every decision, does this increase peace or postpone stress? Your finances may not be what you want right now, but this season is temporary. You will work again. Financial peace is possible. Faith and finances are not enemies. They are partners. You'll need both as you navigate this season, so don't treat them like distant cousins. I didn't do everything right during job loss. I made mistakes. I learned the hard way. That's why I created the Faith and Finances Toolkit, not from theory, but from lived experience.
The toolkit comes with spreadsheets, resources, daily devotionals, and a complete guide for finances during job loss. You can find more details about the Faith and Finances Toolkit in the description below. If you're navigating job loss and want practical, faith-based support, comment finance, and I'll share more tools to help you steward what God has entrusted to you. I am praying light and love over you during this season. Remember, you are not alone, and this is not the end of your story.